Namaskar learners, myself Dr. Harish Kumar and I am welcoming you all in this process of virtual learning. Today in the course of television news production, I am going to discuss with you about basics of television news production, and this particular lecture will be very important for you because in this particular lecture I am going to discuss a few things which are very common in nature and which will just try to build a kind of strong pillar for you. So, dear students, I'm going to discuss with you about the objective behind this course. The objective behind this particular course is to help students to develop practical understanding of television news production. The idea behind this is to help students in identifying and developing skills related with writing, reporting, and producing of different television news program. And today's lecture is just a kind of insight for you, which will provide you some basic aspects about news and its value and the way it is being narrated in different television news programs. Actually, it comes in our mind many times whenever we are going to discuss something. What is news? If we are going to meet any person, uh, we used to ask, what is news today? So, news is playing a very important role in our life because we want to update ourselves at each and every moment of life. If we don't have proper news, if we don't have proper information, then definitely will not be able to take proper decision in our own life. According to the Dictionary of Oxford, new information, the report of latest incident is being called as news. So the information which is current in nature, the information which has just come to ourselves, we are having a curiosity to know about all these things. And if we are going to make any criteria, then definitely these criteria will be it's new in nature. If obsolete or if it is not new, then definitely it will not qualify in the parameters of news. And sometimes it happens that it should be unusual in nature. If anything is happening regularly, like electricity supply is regular, a kind of thing. Water supply is regular kind of thing. If there is any kind of irregularity, then it becomes a news. Apart from it, it should be interesting in manner, or it should be significant. It means if it is not able to create any kind of interest or it is not significant with the story or idea, then it will not qualify the parameters of news. And nowadays we are talking a lot about people-centric stories. People-centric news story are the, you know, it is the need of the hour because ultimately we want to develop human being. We want to provide equal kind of opportunity, or we want to break the status quo system. And in this particular manner, if we are going to provide people centric stories, news story, then definitely our job will be appreciated by others. As far as deciding factors of the news selection is concerned, because we are having a lot of information, but these information doesn't qualify the parameters of news. So that's why there are certain criteria that, and we are supposed to follow these criteria, and then we'll be able to write a particular news story. Like if there is a kind of conflict, or if there is any kind of conflicting opinion. So conflicts become a story. Conflict between two countries, conflict between state and center, conflict uh, on the basis of geographical area. So conflict is a conflict always become a news. Or oddity, if anything is happening in a regular way, like if you are going to this know watch this particular kind of picture, you find that if a dog bites a man, then it is not becoming a story because it's a regular kind of thing. But if a man is going to bite a dog, then it could become a news story. It's a famous kind of saying. And in the same manner, if the normal setup is being breached and some odd is happening, then it becomes a news. Any information or any updates related with famous people or celebrity, automatically it becomes news. But we are supposed to think, we are supposed to introspect ourselves whether how much attention we have to uh, give on these kinds of news or information, because nowadays a lot of people are talking about it, and they are saying that celebrity or famous person also need some sorts of privacy. So there is always two kinds of opinion, and these opinions are going on parallelly. Apart from it, human interest stories are also very important, because something which is having a good impact, or which is going to provide some basic uh, im- amenities to human being, or they are going to uh, create a kind of impact on human. So, dear students, we were discussing about deciding factors of news, and in this particular regard, we should not forget that different things are very important for you, like crime news. Crime news always creates a kind of interest, and it's a really challenge for the reporters and writers to write crime stories, because nowadays there are different kinds of shows which are coming on different television news channels, and these crime shows are becoming very popular nowadays. So proper research is required in these kinds of news stories. Apart from it, the progress and development, the progress of any particular policy, the progress of any initiative, the progress which is taking place, or apart from it, development of human being, development initiatives are there, and these initiatives are also becoming a news. Timelines and freshness is one of the important key factor of deciding a news. After a certain time, that particular thing becomes obsolete in nature, and it is not going to qualify the parameters of a news. So that information should be provided in given time frame only. And proximity, we can associate with a particular kind of news. If anything is happening in Delhi NCR, then definitely we are going to correlate ourselves properly with that information. Or if anything is happening far away, then that particular information might not be as much important as the information which is taking place in nearby area. Sometimes a particular kind of international news also become very important, because that nation is closely associated with India, or its impact is also going to affect ourselves. So these are the things which are very important for us, and whenever we are going to decide news, basically we have also to consider all these parameters. So dear students, let us tell you something about the basic difference in television news and print news. And if you're familiar with these kinds of things, then definitely you can do justice with your writing, and you can also do justice with your television news production. So as far as news for the television is concerned, generally it is short in nature, but in print media you're going to get some detailed information, because it is coming after a certain time. And in television channel, what happens that the information is being provided in the same manner, or if anything happens just 2 minutes before. So different TV newscasters are just trying to provide that particular information in the form of breaking news or the kind of thing. So within a short span of time in television channels, we are going to provide news story. Apart from it, as far as television is concerned, it requires more gravity in nature, because even reporters have to work hard, and if any incident is happening, or any event happened at the same time, the reporters are just traveling that to the place, and they are just going to cover the news story, and You might have seen that the camera is not properly capturing the kind of event. Still, the reporter is trying best to put the story. So brevity is required, but as far as the newspaper is concerned, you are going to read the story, and sometimes from different sources also we are going to provide the news story. On the television news, only one chance is there to grasp the meaning of the story. So that's why it's a challenge for you, the kind of language you are going to use, the kind of information you are going to put at a particular place. You are going to provide information in such a way which could create a kind of meaning. In newspaper, you can read it further, you can read it again and again until you have got some insight about it. So this is very important for us. And nowadays, different television channels are just doing a lot of experiment with the old concept of 5W and 1H, basically. And sometimes they are going to create a kind of interest, and thereafter they are going to provide you the information which was one of the most important information. So in this way, they are breaking the rule. In newspaper, basically, most of the time we are going to follow the concept of 5W and 1H. And in this particular manner, we find there is a kind of difference. And apart from it, as far as television news is concerned, we find that words with visuals are taken into consideration properly. Sometimes visuals are creating more meaning, and sometimes the words or news story is going to elaborate the visuals which are coming in front of us. So these are the few things, and on the basis of it, we can just differentiate particular approach related with television news and print news. So as you're watching right now, this is a particular graph, and you can see that how human interest is being covered in the form of a news. And if there is a good news story, then it is going to cover human interest also. And at the same time, you are also going to follow news ethics. Sometimes we are in dilemma whether we are going to capture the event, we are going to capture the particular information, or we are supposed to do something for ethics. Because of the immediacy, many times it is a kind of problem that we are facing. And another thing is close to home. If anything is happening just near to our home, then definitely we are going to pay more attention on it. So in this particular way, we are going to provide news or information. Dear listeners, let us tell you a few things or few terms which is very important in television news production. And these terms are just, I'm going to elaborate you one by one. Like PCR. PCR is production control room from where the news bulletin is being controlled, or many times it happens that the command is being given from production control room, PCR. And you might have seen a particular mirror, and just behind the mirror there's a particular studio, and basically the camera person is having earphone or the kind of thing through which they are getting information, the way they are supposed to capture the shots or capture the person, the way they are supposed to monitor the kind of thing, or they are going to give some instruction to news anchor. So these are the things which are very important for us. Apart from it, the producer of news bulletin is playing a major role, and the job of the producer is to produce a news bulletin, and it's a really a challenge because in most of the TV channels, news stories used to broadcast, and that's why how the treatment of that kind of news is being held in a particular kind of story, it is very important. And apart from it, there is also a particular concept of VG editor, video editor, who edits the story. Because in news, what happens that we are having limited time frame to edit a particular kind of bulletin. We don't have enough time, and most of the programs are live in nature. So that's why the way they are going to switch the kind of information, the way they are going to edit, it's a challenge. And another term is MCR, Master Control Room, from where video stories or clips are played as per the command of Production Control Room. So when Production Control Room gives command, and thereafter that particular thing is being followed in Master Control Room, and broadcasting is being done in this particular manner. And another one is anchor, news anchor. News anchor is a person who used to read the news, and many times it happens that we used to watch a particular kind of television news program because unique presentation style of a news reader. So here I'm going to discuss with you about few term like reporter. Reporter is actually one of the authorized person who gathers news, and there are different kinds of reporters. Basically, on the basis of their area or on the basis of assigned work, we can have different kinds of reporters like political reporter. Apart from it, there might be reporter who are going to cover sports news or information, and in this way they are going to work. Another one is cameraman. Cameraman is actually the person who captures video for the news, and they are also playing a major role because they are closely, associated with PCR, and they used to follow different instructions in this particular manner. And sometimes they are also, you know, just trying to bridge the gap between news anchor and production control room. Apart from it, you might have uh, some insight about the studio. Studio is the closed room with high ceiling where news is recorded or done live as per the command given by production control room. And there is a soundproof room. Basically, in studio, the disturbance of outside should not disturb uh, the flow of the information or the program. It should be, taken care. The next thing is the OB van, outdoor broadcast van. Nowadays, you might have seen it, and there is a particular van, and there is a direct facility to broadcast different kinds of things in through OB van. And during election time, during any kind of incident, definitely OB van is playing a major role. So dear students, today we discussed about the concept of television news and the factors which are going to decide or which is going to influence the flow of news. We also discussed how television news is different from print news, and apart from it, a few important term is also being discussed with you. So I am hopeful that this particular lecture would be very fruitful for you. Dear learners, as far as the assignment of this particular lecture is concerned, you are supposed to identify different news from a television news bulletin, and you have to categorize it on the basis of their newsworthiness, and on the basis of proximity, like on the basis of abstract kind of thing, or on the basis of oddity. You are supposed to categorize each and every kind of news or information. So dear students, if you want more information, you can visit the websites mentioned here. Apart from it, you can also read these kinds of books. But I feel that your practice and your project are very important for you. And if you are going to concentrate on these things, definitely you are going to do a lot. So dear students, thank you very much for your patience and your active participation in the process of learning. We'll meet again with the next topic. Till then, if you are having any query, any kind of doubt, you can just mail me on my email ID. My email ID is harish.kumar@galgotiasinsti.edu.in. We'll meet again. Till then, bye bye. Take care and happy learning.